Oh, check it out, guys. Look at this. We've got a bit of sun. Well, that looks like it's going to go behind the clouds. And it is so good to see. It's actually the first day of summer this morning. It's the 1st of December. But good morning to you all. If you haven't already, give this video a like and subscribe. That'd be awesome. My alarm went off this morning at 10 to 4 and it was actually raining. I couldn't be bothered getting out of bed, so I sort of pressed the snooze button a couple of times. But I need to be a little bit earlier this morning. I'm going to be home by 9:30 to look after Taylor because Holly's going to the dentist, unfortunately. But it is pretty hard to believe that it was raining now, isn't it? It's blue sky. Oh, it's so good to get a dose of vitamin D finally. All done, and it's just after 9. So plenty of time to spare, but Taylor's actually just in bed at the moment. And I am completely sold on putting the milk in the coffee first. I reckon it tastes so much better. Ah, yum. Well, she's supposed to be going to sleep. She's up now, though. Hey. Hello. You have a good sleep? Here she is. She's a little bit bigger than last time she was on camera, but she's about 3.5 months old now. Hey, you're doing pretty well. Sleeps real well, so sleeps like 12, 13 hours a night, which is pretty awesome and has done since sort of day one. She's actually real cruisy, and so are the other two, but they're at daycare today. They go 3 days a week, but I'm just shifting these calves into a new paddock. They're almost ready for grazing. I think we're going to send them down once the bulls that are with the heifers down there come back, so that's in about 2 weeks. Usually what happens is that we send 40 down now, sort of in December at some point, and then send the other, or the remaining, there's usually about another 40, so there'll be 38 left this year, and they'll go at the start of May when the R2s come home. But I'm trying to convince Dad to let me send the whole lot of them down there because I hate having calves here over the summer. They just eat grass, and we do get quite short of grass that the cows need, and they're the ones that are producing the money, not these calves. They are going to in the future, so they need looking after, but I think they'll do better down there than they do up here. We definitely have a bit of a difference of opinion on this one, which is good. Like, it is good to have sort of a discussion around it, but yeah, hopefully we can sort of send a few more than we usually do. So I was wanting to send 60. I think Dad's come around to the idea that maybe we'll send 50, but I'll see if I can push him up to 55, meet him halfway sort of thing. I did speak to Merv before I even put it to Dad, and Merv was pretty keen, or he said he could take the whole lot. So the option is there, it's just whether we do it or not. But how about this weather? It actually feels like summer. It's nice. So I'm just splitting up paddocks before I go on holiday tomorrow, so there's 2 days in here. I sort of left it a little bit last minute, like I got to put this up a couple of days ago, but I just really didn't feel like doing it in the rain, so I thought I'd wait till it fined up a bit. Damn, I don't know if it's the battery or something else. I want to go and do some topping, but all the lights come on. The radio's on. It does have the little battery light there, which is still on. So maybe it is flat, which really sucks. I have got the battery charger on the battery, but yeah, I don't know, it can't have got enough juice yet. I've had it on there for a couple of hours, but it must be really flat, and it's a little bit unusual because it hasn't done that before, and it's not like I left the key on or anything, so something's either drained the battery or it could be the starter motor. I don't know if it's the alternator or not. I'm not really that mechanically minded, but I'll leave the charger on it, come down, try it later, and if it's not, I might have to give Norwoods a ring, get them out to have a look. Probably a little bit hard to see, but those are the maize paddocks there, or there's 1, 2, and then the third one's just over the hill there. But you can see that light yellowish colour there. So that maize is really waterlogged at the moment, and it's lacking oxygen. So hopefully it doesn't die out, otherwise I've just lost more. But I know I'm definitely not alone, because just driving around you can see a lot of maize is looking yellow just like that. So there's probably a lot of people that have got waterlogged paddocks. I have just come to sort out the paddocks for the next week while I'm away, so what am I going to do? Change my mind. 40, 39, 39. But that sorted it. I definitely changed my mind a lot in there. Just the wet weather sort of stuffed it up a little bit. I've got this paddock number 7, which is just here on the mat. It's that paddock down the bottom there, and it just gets extremely wet on the sort of right hand side. It's not too bad on the left, but I'll just give it a little bit of time to dry it a little bit more. It's actually really windy at the moment though. The wind's picked up and it's quite strong. But talking about wet again, this chicory paddock here, you can see where it's real wet there and nothing's really growing. It's a little bit clayey, I think. And then down the bottom there, I got the drill in a couple of weeks ago and got that drilled, but there's just like water lying down there and it's been there for ages. So I'm not actually quite sure if it's really going to grow anything. It's all probably waterlogged and drowned the seed, but oh well, at least I tried. But what I'll probably do with this paddock though is I usually try and get 2 years of chicory. So I'll put a chicory in like I have, then I'll go an annual through the winter and then chicory again. But I think I'll go a permanent and keep it in grass from now on. It's just a little bit tricky around those wet areas, and yeah, it's probably better in a grass than cropping it. But this chicory paddock's looking really good, and probably only a couple of weeks off grazing really. So some of the stuff is probably not too far away at all. I think with chicory you can graze it once it gets to either the 5th or the 7th leaf stage. I'll have to double check that, and some of this probably would be, like this plant here, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe it's 7 leaf. It's just little areas like this which probably germinated a little bit late, and I need to let that catch up before we go and deck it. But on a whole, pretty impressed with it. But at least one of my cropping paddocks is looking alright, the rest are looking a bit dodgy, but this paddock usually does pretty well. It's going to be nice going away for a week, then coming back and seeing the difference, especially in the crops. They're just going to bolt now, I reckon, once we get a bit of this sunshine. But I'm actually pretty pinched for feed at the moment, and that's pretty much just due to the weather we've had over the last couple of weeks. So I haven't got a heap of grass around. I really need to get that silage off, but maybe I'll have to wait till I get back from holiday to cut it. I'm not sure if Dad's going to do it, but the grass in here, I mean the cows are only in here 4 nights ago. I did top this paddock and it's looking good, but you can see the regrowth already, like it's looking real good. It's going to be nice quality feed too by the time the cows get back round to here. It's actually the next morning at now, so I thought I would leave the charger on the tractor overnight, so I'll take it off now and give it a go and see what happens. But just at first glances, so that needle, it should have gone down a little bit more for my likings, which really makes me think that it's not actually the battery that it's the problem. There might be something else, whether it's a loose wire or something's being knocked out of place. Well, that's a good sound, so it must have just been a flat battery after all. Still a little bit weird though, because I don't know what would have strained the battery, or maybe the battery's getting low, I don't know. The tractor's not that old, so you would have thought the battery would be alright. Into it. You can kind of see through here where I was meaning about that wet spot, the maize too, so it sort of runs from the base of the hill here, all around the bottom, over there towards the gate there, and then that way too, so yeah, not the best. But that'll pretty much do it for this video, guys. Until next time, where I'm off to the mount on my holiday, so I'll take you along with me. See you then.